That it?
Yeah.
Is it time?
Say goodbye.
It's time to say goodbye to Ladybug. Yesterday we released the first part of this video where we looked back at the life of Ladybug. So if you missed it, go ahead and click on the link that pops up. Enjoy watching that first. Now it's time to say goodbye.
When we first found out about this, that Ladybug was positive for Yonis, it felt like, well, that's it. We're done with cows. Felt like a death sentence.
We had a discussion.
That's what the kids would call it.
That's what the kids would call it. Because I was like, well, let's get out of dairy. There's no point.
But that's not what we're gonna do. One bad thing that happens, this bad thing that happened to us, it's not the reason for us to quit. It's not a good reason for us to get out of cows altogether. So we're not going to. We're going to keep pushing forward. And in the next few years, work on getting Yonis out of our herd. Because it can be done.
Yeah, we can mitigate the risk, manage our herd, so that is a safer herd to buy from than the one we are right now. So there is light at the end of this tunnel. We're going to be working with professionals. We'll continue to share whatever we learn about Yonis, how to manage your herd. We'll continue to share that here on the channel. One of the things that's been most sad to me the last couple of weeks, learning about Yonis, seeing how many people who previously were commenting how, oh man, this is so awesome, I want a family milk cow, oh, I want to find a mini Jersey. Oh. Suddenly we were seeing all these comments of, oh, I'm terrified. I'm terrified to get a family milk cow. Oh no, I just put a deposit down and this is horrifying. I'm so scared.
Well, it is a little scary. Buying any animal is scary, especially one that's a large investment. You change a lot of your life to get it. It's good to come into that with some caution, with preparation, some knowledge, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it.
Just because Ladybug got Yonis. I'm serious, like so many people suddenly went from, hey, I want a cow, to, oh no, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Just because one cow that you liked watching on YouTube got Yonis, it happened already.
Yes.
It's been happening. Yonis has been going on for a long time. And animals, every animal you bring on your homestead eventually is going to die, and a lot of times it's not from old age.
Yeah, it might be a disease they get at your farm. Might be a disease a bird brings onto your property, or a deer, or
get struck
on
by
somebody's
lightning.
shoes. Could be pneumonia. There's so much that can happen to animals.
So now you're really terrified. But the point is to not...
Don't let it stop you.
Yeah, these problems still are out there. And now, thanks to Ladybug, you know so much more than you did, and I know so much more than I did a month ago. It was weird because I was thinking about how, like, we've been doing this for 5 years now. We've had milk cows, and like 5 years feels like you're no longer a beginner. But I definitely don't think we're experts in the world of milk cows and dairy. This is how you become an expert. John Siskovich says this a lot. He's the expert in chickens because he's killed more accidentally than you have on purpose. You become an expert at something after getting all the gut punches that thing can throw at you and surviving them all and pushing through. This is just one of our punches towards becoming experts someday in a family milk cow. And Ladybug has taught us so much.
That means moving forward, we've got even better advice to give people when they say, hey, I'm looking for a family milk cow, what do I look for?
What we would have told you 2 months ago has changed so much.
Right. There's no such thing as a disease-free herd. There's only farms who regularly disease test their animals.
It would be like calling your family a disease-free family. And this is grim when you think about it like this, but like, oh, we're a disease-free family. For now, you are, as far as you know, but
stuff happens.
Stuff changes. And animals are no different than humans in that sense. So Maybe you have a very healthy herd of cows who have been tested and have shown that they don't have these diseases at this time.
And you have a closed herd.
And that's great. We had that a couple months ago.
But keep testing. That's what we're coming away with from this, and what we want everybody to come away with. It's not to vilify the farm where we bought her from. It's not to look at the farm that she was born and say they're bad people. This stuff happens. So for you personally, if you're going out and looking for a family milk cow, find a farm who tests regularly and keeps testing and is willing to show you all of the results from the testing, is willing to let your vet look at it.
That was great advice Cody shared with us. Because if you're like we were when you buy your first cow, you don't even know what to ask.
There's so much. If you look at the list of BLV, BVD, Yonis, tuberculosis,
I didn't know what Yonis was
so much of this stuff, yeah.
You did, I didn't. So work with a vet. Say, hey, I want to go buy a cow, but I don't know what to ask. I want it to be Yonis free as best as possible.
Yeah, I want it to be disease free as much as you can.
Yeah. That said too, if you're someone who's selling livestock, we don't believe that anyone should be promising a disease-free cow. We were promised that, as were a lot of other people that bought from the same place we did. And here we are, we've been very disappointed.
And including us, there have been 4, possibly 5 other people who have had issues with Yonis from the farm where we bought Ladybug from.
We don't think there was malintent there. But there is a huge disappointment to your customer when you promise we have no diseases and then something pops up that more than likely originated before the customer was involved. So if you are selling cows, mini jerseys, any cows, any livestock, and you've gone through a lot of work to make sure they're disease-free at the moment, great. Explain that thoroughly, share your testing. Next time we buy an animal, that person's getting grilled. We're gonna be asking for the paperwork. We're gonna be wanting to see every testing on the whole herd.
Yeah, we're not expecting that there won't be Yonis in the herd.
Right.
But are they doing Yonis prevention? Are they keeping their other cows and calves safe as best as they can?
I feel like this is Ladybug's sacrifice to the homesteading world. She has inspired so many to get involved with a homestead family cow, milk cow, to be more self-sufficient. Here at the end of her life, she is going to be put down to protect our other animals, and she is going to help protect so many other homesteads, not from disease, because again, that can happen at any time, but she's going to protect homesteads from overconfidence, from thinking, hey, I got this stamp, and this stamp says disease-free,
and it'll always be,
and that means we're safe
forever.
And I don't even have to test because she was free then and we're a closed herd. That has been shattered. The idea that you can have this perfect disease-free animal and it just exists in isolation of the bad things in the world. So Ladybug's sacrifice to all of us is just knowledge. Take advantage of the testing. It's not expensive to have your animals tested. It's not hard.
For the blood test, it was $5.
You can do a milk test if your animal's in milk. You can do a fecal. Taking blood is harder than taking fecal. It's not as...
Because I had to do the fecal.
That's right. So going forward, please don't be afraid to get... If you would like to get involved with dairy cows, family milk cow, if it was a dream and now suddenly you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. This was happening while it was your dream.
Yeah.
We just brought it to light for maybe some of you. A lot of you knew about this, but for some of you, you're just learning about Yonis now, like myself.
Right, it's been out there. It's for hundreds of years.
So don't let this stop you. You still can have safer, better quality milk than what you can buy if you are managing your herd, actively testing. Don't be discouraged. That it?
Yeah.
Is it time?
Say goodbye.
It's time to say goodbye to Ladybug. I hate goodbyes.
What was that song?
Dumb and Dumber. It's very fitting. we've been making arrangements for
This is actually something we talked to our vet about. We had the vet out this past week and asked her opinion as a large animal vet. What's the kinder way to kill Ladybug? Whether it's an injection or a gun. She advised us to use the gun because it's faster. She's had to do large animals with the injection, and she said it's very stressful on them. So that will be our choice. It's not going to be something we share on the channel. So, like we said before, this will be the last video that Ladybug's in. She's a good-looking cow. Still looks healthy.
feels good.
Yeah, she feels good. Before the disease really drags her down. We get one quick shot.
I'm always the crier.
Make sure you do it on her blind side. She'll never see it coming.
I know.
Yep, thirsty.
She feels good right now. She misses being with the herd. But other than that, she's been a heck of a sport about being in quarantine over here.
Yeah.
And she still feels good. She's still healthy. So for her, it's gonna be a bucket of feed, which she loves, and then it'll be over. And I've had a hard time sleeping thinking about this. I know, like, always. My grandfather left the farm. I told his story earlier this year around the anniversary of his death. He left the farm at 17 to join the Navy, mostly because he said Navy life was easier than farm life. But part of it was he did not like seeing animals he grew attached to die. He told stories about seeing the pig that he liked all of a sudden strung up in the barn, hanging there. He's a soft soul, and my dad's the same way. My dad's a carnivore as much as they come, you know, sausage pizza every Friday night. But he doesn't like to think
of it.
He doesn't like to think of death. And when it comes to me, I've strayed farthest from the Martin family line when it comes to death and animals. I'm a hunter, not because I like shooting animals, but because I like to feed my family the best meat I can. I raise chickens and pigs and lambs, and I'm able to process them on farm because I want to give my family the best. I care a lot about Ladybug, and I want to do what's best for her. So in the morning, she'll have a bucket of feed, and that'll be the last thing she sees. And that'll be the end of Ladybug on the channel, the end of Ladybug here on the farm. But her legacy will live on. She will continue to inspire people. She's going to continue to educate people through what we've all learned about diseases and yonis and so much. We have seen a huge ripple in the homesteading community, especially the family cow community. Ladybug has opened up the dialogue between buyers and sellers and farms who are selling disease-tested and supposed disease-free cows. It is going to make all of our homesteads safer, better places. And I can't think of a better thing for an animal's death to do than to improve the life of so many more animals and so many more families. And so Ladybug's sacrifice, her death will be a sacrifice that betters so many of our homesteads. We'll never forget her. I was feeling really down the night after we learned about this, and I couldn't sleep. And I wrote a note, because it's easy to think about all the ways you've lost when you lose a big, important livestock on your farm. Financial loss, time loss, energy, effort, emotional.
Years, yeah.
Just, yeah, you can just dwell on all the loss. But instead I wanted to focus on what she gave to us, what we got because of Ladybug. And can I end with my list here?
Yeah.
Can I? The good things that Ladybug did for us that no disease can change. Ladybug empowered you. First dairy goat experience was not a good one. You gave up pretty quick. I think it was the first milking you threw the bucket and said, that's it. Never milking a goat again.
He did milk the goats forever after.
Ladybug was completely the opposite. She wasn't easy. It took training and work, but you stuck to it. And now you've become an inspiration to so many more to try family milk cow and keep going with the family milk cow. So she empowered you. She made you you don't feel like a quitter in the world of dairy. You feel like someone who won't let anything, even yonis, stop her, you crazy milkmaid. Ladybug empowered me. I wanted nothing to do with dairy. I didn't ever want to have a milk animal. I didn't want to ever milk animals. I still don't really want to be a daily milker, but I milked our camels for her entire, pretty much, lactation here on the homestead until she was done. And I'm no longer scared around large livestock, so she's empowered me. Ladybug grew our business. She helped grow Homesteady. So many people have come to Homesteady. Some of our most popular videos on the channel are about family cows. So I'm able to provide for my family here at home. You're able to provide for your family here at home, majorly, partially because of Ladybug. Our business from home has worked. Some of our most popular videos are all about Ladybug. She gave us lifelong memories. Our kids sitting in the orchard watching Luna's birth, something that we'll never forget. Because of Ladybug, I got the life experience of pulling a calf. Now I didn't pull Ladybug's calf because she has like flawless, perfect births.
Fast.
But I got to pull Luna's calf, a little mini, and without Ladybug there'd be no Luna to pull a calf out of. So Ladybug fed us. Best tasting milk we've ever had. So there's that. Number 7, Ladybug got us on the Survival Podcast together. One of my favorite podcasts, Jack Spirko, the Survival Podcast. I got to be on the show with my wife talking about mini jerseys. That was another thing that it was just a cool experience. Ladybug accomplished a lifelong dream of yours. What was that dream?
To own a cow.
You wanted to be in the
be
cow
like
club.
those fair kids sleeping on their cow in the barn. At
You'd
the
walk
fair.
through the fair and feel left out.
Yeah, I thought, wow, that's awesome. Look
wish
at
I
them
was a
with their
cow.
cow.
And now you're ask the cowgirl. You're the cowgirl. I ended this list, I just said, I look back on this list, realize Ladybug has given you and me so much. We've been getting so much from her for years. So many things money can't buy, and a few things money can buy, like raw milk and cheese, and yogurt, and ice cream, which is a big deal to me. So we just want to say thank you to Ladybug for everything she's done, and we'll miss her.
Shaking hours of